It just gets worse every time, doesn't it? Nope. Yeah, we're going to be going into our second map. Yeah, I'm someone with the desk, I'll be honest. I think that Virtus.pro needs some sort of turnaround. I'm hoping maybe Pasha can breathe a bit of life into this team because I do think this is a good map for him. I think when he starts styling with that AWP, he's very difficult to stop. The only problem is, I agree, I don't think he can do it alone. That's the biggest problem. Like, he could have a phenomenal performance or at least be playing the same level he has throughout the tournament, but that won't do it. They need someone to step up. I think Bialy, like, I think Mihu hasn't been that great throughout this tournament. Like in previous tournaments, like a Star Series, for example, he was one of their best players going into it. But I wonder if that was sort of that like honeymoon period where he was like, yeah, I'm playing with Virtus.pro. I got to prove myself. And now he's just like, I'm playing with Virtus.pro. Can I go back to Kingwin now? Can I go back to my friends? Like, this isn't fun. So I don't know. I wonder if that's sort of gone for him or something because he, throughout this tournament, hasn't looked particularly good. It's been other members of the team stepping up, having those impactful moments. And I am actually looking more at Bialy. I think that he's someone who has had like at least some fluctuating performances where he's been good in some games and then not so good in others. So if he can step up in cash and have those sort of impactful frags, which we know him for, then sure. And Snacks as well. I think the games we saw yesterday, Snacks was one of the best players in the server. Today, wasn't even on the server.
I remember that Inferno. Was it versus Franksters or was it versus Red Reserve? I think it was versus Red Reserve, where Bialy was just like a boss up in the A apartments pretty much, and he was just constantly wrecking them together with Pasha. And I mean, that's exactly what we need, right? You need at least two players to step up and play well. And in this case, it was, I mean, okay, Neo also did a very good job, right? But you don't really expect it to be Neo. You at least need one of the other players, one of the players that are actually in the, so to say, good roles to step up and frag hard. Without it, it's just impossible. And the problem also with that first map was just that even though they had a few players performing really, really well, the other three, they just performed really, really poorly. So it's not like they were upholding a consistent level. It seems like, you know, it's kind of like that meme, right? If you, how is it even? It's something like if you can't handle me at my worst, you don't expect my best. Or
you don't deserve me at my best. Yeah.
That was. But I mean, I think we've just seen the worst, and I hope that now Pasha and Neo, they have. I mean, I think they are deserving of something better from their teammates in this second map. Is what I'm very slowly getting to.
What you're alluding to.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing as well is when you look at the sort of opposing side of things is there wasn't a weak member, really, of the GODSENT side. Either way, though, we are going into our pistol round. Hampus, he got an ace in the previous one, but he ain't getting one this time. Snacks has already shut him down after the initial kill comes in onto Mr. Bicep, so he won't be playing any part in this round. Snacks and Neo, actually, with a lot of utility. Now, this, from me, I'm kind of hoping that this actually goes over towards the A side. We get the sort of quad Molotov thrown in alongside the MBK, and then, well, just to take onto the site. But we'll see what they're actually going to do with all of this utility. You got Twist with the kit and a smoke, which will help them out if it does go over towards that A site. And Neo actually lurking over towards B suggests that they may just try and completely fire off this site or save it for after plants. Disco and Brolin are already here, but there is going to be a smoke falling to hold them off on this cross. And as I said, a heavy utility setup coming in. Spam going through. They stop just as Mihu looks to jump over, and Neo's actually going to hit the dink onto Twist, leaving him very low on HP indeed. And this actually just turns now to a retake scenario for GODSENT. As said, they've got the smoke, but so many angles left to clear. Snacks actually retrieves a deagle as well.
There in the team main, so now Snacks has a Molotov and used from Sunroom on the bomb. That was, I think, maybe what, I mean, could have been the saving grace here for GODSENT. I mean, the saving grace now is that they are just getting a lot of kills, but Snacks using that Molo buys himself some time. And he does actually get the kill on Twist. They do have a kit, though.
Yeah,
but without a kit, it actually got pretty close. But it's really an interesting strat, not something you see very often. I mean, thinking to myself that it's not going to work out well if he's trying to Molotov the bomb and they have a smoke for it. But then Twist decided to use it elsewhere. It could have been the difference here in that round, but GODSENT just hitting so many 6 shots in quick succession.
Well, yeah, that's what it seems to be at the moment. Is just like, well, I sort of spoke to you in the break about it. Like, it was mentioned on the desk about, oh yeah, Hampus in-game leading, or they weren't sure, like yesterday, who was in-game leading. A lot of it comes down to just, there's so much individual talent on GODSENT there. I don't feel like his strat book has even had to be opened yet. It's sort of like he's on page 1, and just like that, he's got like maybe a depth of strategies, but it's just like, oh, well, Twister's just hit a couple of 1Ds. We can just sort of win this round. And both times also starting on the CT side, a lot of that comes down to structure and setup. Okay, in the retakes, maybe he has to make some sort of like calls, but most of the CT side just comes down to like having the setups and like knowing each other well, the synergy of everything, rather than him necessarily going, okay, in this round we'll do this and this. And then maybe they'll have like their own individual plays that they'll make, but I don't think he's going to be the whole puppet master, like almost like Pronax era or something like that, or like Existence where everything's strategized.
I mean, it was a different lineup and a different time. Oof. Snax hits a really sick 1D, and Freddy B lines them up and knocks them down. Neo now with the Deagle, not going to be able to find it, but it was a different time with Pronax, of course, but it seems like these players are all capable of making solid individual decisions. You have, you know, Freddy B and Disco Dublin, who have definitely proven their worth, and Twist, I mean, I don't even need to comment on that. I think he's been in the scene for so long that there's really no questions to be asked. And I mean, the desk talked about it, right? Roland was making some really solid decisions on Cobble, yeah. So you don't need an in-game leader on a team like GODSENT that is a puppet master, yeah, in the way that Pronax is. I think that was what you were also pretty much saying, right? But I think Hampus is even the type of guy that if it is necessary all of a sudden, he will be able to do it.
Well, maybe if Virtus.pro can step up to the plate, we'll actually get to find out his in-game leading style, because so far, as said, they haven't needed it. Just individually sound and winning all the fights. Snax already down to just 2 HP, and they're actually going to go pushing through, but they don't realize he's behind you. Mihu already starts things off with 1. They walk past him, and Pasha comes to help him out. This is a mistake from the CT side, not checking the angle as they go through the smoke, and that will be a couple of openers now. The idea was good, just the execution was poor. Now Freddy B has an awful lot to do on the A site. Rotation will be coming in from his teammates, but he's the man who has to make the play, and it isn't going to happen. Disco does manage to trade 1 back. Brolin, when he sees Epic, they double Molotov onto the boss. Neo is going to be tagged very low as well, and there's a chance for Disco, but running out of bullets is going to end that round in his tracks. 2-1, VP, they're on the board early. And actually, because of that, the CT side, their money is not going to be in a good state, of course. That's normally what happens when the first or the third round buy comes in.
Miho actually, I mean, was so incredibly slow and at turning from that flash. I was a bit surprised, but then the CTs, I mean, maybe Mihu was slow at turning, but the CTs, they just never turn. Yeah. And because of that, they both, yeah, I mean, met their demise. So really solid, actually, team play coming in from Virtus.pro in that round. One guy spamming through the wall, Mihu just staying alive out of the first kill, and then Pasha coming in and killing the other guy from behind. So really, really well played. But kills already coming in. It's Disco Dublin, the guy that was the last alive last round. Now the first to get a kill in this next.
Bialy actually will be pushing in. Snax is there to meet him, and it's only Brolin left on the site. The youngster has a bit of support from above from Hampus, but it's only a scout, and Brolin peeks out and already will be lost. Freddy B trying to spam through the smoke, but is left completely blind for even longer. But actually, Snax goes pushing through. Risky stuff. Mihu is in the back lines to trade things out once again, and rotating in here is not going to be easy, but Freddy B hits the shot nonetheless. Again, is traded out and will be all on to Twist. Doesn't have himself a kit. Doesn't have much to play with here. It's just going to come down to whether or not he can find a fast frag. Now, Bialy's in quite an aggressive position. There's only 20 seconds left on the clock. Peeks wide, but wins the battle anyway. Virtus.pro will get themselves a second. And in this next one, nothing can be invested for GODSENT. They just don't have the finances.
And the 2 players that we were, I guess, most looking to step up here was Snax and Bialy. They had a bit of a I mean, it wasn't even like a super horrible game on Cobblestone, but I think most viewers were aware that they had a top level they did not hit that match. And
you'd hope so.
it seems like they are pretty close to hitting it now. Bialy at least hitting some shots. It's actually just the two that I mentioned. They're going to clean up every single kill. Bialy with 4.
Has he already got more kills than the last map?
Yes. I think last map he had 7, now he has 9.
Yeah, and I think Mihu's not far off either.
Oh no.
Then again, though, he was not far off when they started the map.
Oh, Tom. Let's just really hope that Mihu does not watch the VOD of this cast.
I have a feeling he won't.
But you say that. And what happens if now he gets 40 kills in this match? Now he will watch it, and now he will...
We'll be praising him.
That's true.
I'm not going to be... like, we'll be talking about the complete turnaround, not just going, haha, he still sucked last time. That's not what, that's not what we do. Here we go, though. CT side, they've got themselves a buy into this round. Some limitations in utility, and Hampus is actually going to be boosted up. Brolin already tagged down to just 28 HP. We do have snacks. Lurking over towards the squeaky door now. We've seen that at least some of the cash games coming out from Virtus.pro against decent opposition as well have gone their way.
They've boosted 2 people up here on snacks.
I love this.
Hampus is up on the lamp, and that's even going to be checked by snacks. That's ludicrous. Maybe they heard a step, but they will surely not check for the second. And that's going to be Twist. He could honestly win this round all by himself, but only if the T's go his way, and it does not seem to be the case. Only the kills go his way, at least the one. And Disco Doppler now as well in a good position to foil the plans of the terrorists here.
Oh, they're actually going to be shooting through the wall. This sort of distracts them from the fact there could be somebody there, and Doppler has already managed to find 2, tries to use the nade to hold on. Freddy B, now the only one left, turns it into a 1 versus 1. Bialy down to just 20 HP. No utility for either player, so he's just going to go fake out the bomb plant. It will be known by Freddy B, who's getting himself ever closer. He's going to try and hold the angle, waits patiently. Smart stuff from Freddy, and it will be a bounce back now from GODSENT. 3-3 on the scoreboard. But the T's definitely have enough money that they can buy back into this round.
I love these scenic shots.
Take
perfect
me.
With the... I mean, I hope that Mihu can smell blood at least. With how much that guy bled, I'm sure he'd be able to smell it from the other bomb side.
That phrase has been said far too many times now for my liking. Why do we want people to smell blood?
I don't know.
Don't do that. It's weird.
Maybe he's a vampire.
Yeah, but they eat it or drink it. They don't like... It's not like wine.
Maybe he's a shark. They can smell blood.
A shark, I'll give you. Vampire, I don't know. Oh, there you go. Pasha, though. He's still alive and kicking, and even peeks back into the Molotov. Brolin will burn him down, but it won't matter. The trades have gone the way of the Poles. And what a start to that round. Freddy B and Disco, all that remains. And Virtus.pro definitely looking better so far on this map. Pasha still going strong. Even though he is at the bottom of the board, those couple of kills prove it. Freddy is the only one with any HP, but they do actually manage a couple of kills back. We're into a 2 versus 2. Neo and Mihu, they've got the map control. And we're going to see the 2 players actually together, and it's the one with the higher HP that goes down. Disco Doppler left with just 2. And that's how many players he also has to kill if he's going to have a hope in hell of winning this round. Shouldn't be possible. Won't. Mihu's not even going to give him a chance. Headshot 4-3 in favor, and GODSENT are now screwed with money.
Mihu beats his record, at least in this series, puts him up on 4. And it was actually interesting, as you said it, Pasha he had an ADR of 6.3 going into this round, and then just gets 2 of the most impressive openings I've seen in recent times. The first was sick, but the second was even sicker. Unfortunately, the Molotov at his feet. And he was to go down afterwards, and because of that, they cannot save the AWP. But with how fast they're running, I'm sure it'll all be okay.
No.
Yeah, that's exactly the only thing Brolin heard. That was a Mac-10 shooting and meow. Even though it was not Neo.
Oh, you got the first kill.
Oh, did he?
Yep.
Oh, that's actually crazy.
God,
Snacks.
do you think my jokes aren't planned?
Snacks? Oh, what?
Wait,
Why did what?
Can you shoot through the gaps?
No.
He's cheating.
Hello. Okay.
He's got vent hacks.
Do you think he circumvented it?
Oh, God.
Oh, no. But
after that, I'm just going to have to vent my anger.
Yeah, okay. But I've never seen that before. He shot him through the vent and then had to shoot the vent afterwards. That's crazy.
He's just that good.
Vac in chat. Vent in chat. That was actually crazy. Never seen that before. He looked as surprised as we were with how he shot the vent afterwards.
Here we go, though. Mihu. Ooh, goodbye, Freddy B. Stack on the A site. Second will be spotted. And already the T's, or at least the bomb, looking to make his way away from this site. Mihu peeking out, looking to pad his stats, and oh, there's 3 kills in just 1 round for Mihu. Twist looking to push in as well, and this may just be the confidence booster that Mihu needs. Doppler down on just 39 HP. Snacks looking like he's about to steal away the ace, or maybe not. Okay, how does the Doppler's actually got a kill now? How does that happen? There we go. Ace made by Mihu, 5 kills for him. That will push him further up the board.
What a wholesome moment, right? He gets 4 kills, and Snacks is not hunting the last eco frag or something like that. He's just spamming through the door, and it kind of looked like, obviously we couldn't see Pasha's point of view, but it kind of looked like he wasn't really going to try and take the fight, and then ended up dying, of course. That was a bit of a misplay, I guess, but it really felt like Virtus.pro, they just wanted to give him the ace because of the bad performance of the other match. Mihu, though, 100% bank, and in the bank, Twist gets killed. Doppler trades it out, uses his smoke wisely, but now the T's are going to be pushing in this Molotov. With him having just used his smoke, it puts him in a world of trouble. And now he's been removed from that very world.
Yeah, they need something back into this very quickly indeed. Brolin up above. Yet to turn up to the server. In fact, now we're seeing 3 players on the other team not turn up. Brolin, Hampus, and Twist. 2, 2, and 1 in the server at the moment. And it's only Freddy and Disco Doppler, 12 and 9 kills apiece. Now Pasha's at the bomb. It's like everybody's just sort of like flipped.
But then again, Cash, heavily T-sided map. We would probably be looking at Virtus.pro to get around 9 rounds.
The thing with this map is, or these teams more so, is I feel like they're both so momentum-based that I think that even just starting on that T side may be enough for Virtus.pro. I think both, like, literally both teams, if they get off to a great start, they can be some of the scariest teams to play against. And if they start slow, they may be out of it before it even really begins.
It's true. And the hard part about playing the CT side as well is that, for example, let's say it's going to be, I mean, 12-3 is not really an, you know, a crazy half on Cash. I feel like we see that a lot of the time, at least, where the T side gets 12 rounds. And if you then go over to the T side and you only have 3 rounds, if you don't win the pistol, you've basically just lost.
Yeah.
I mean, so getting that big lead at the beginning can definitely help your mentality, but it also can put so much pressure on the other team. It's funny, though, you said if they were to win Cash, they really needed a 6 performance from Pasha because he's usually the guy.
He's not.
He's not having the greatest game.
No, he's had those couple of openers, but yeah, it's actually Snacks, Bialy, and Mihu who've stepped up.
It's the 3 we were looking for.
The 3 bottom players. Like, literally, that's what I mean. The board has flipped. Some damage done with the pistols, though. And actually, this round has got a little bit interesting. Missed shot from Neo. Roland almost meets his doom, but the bomb is going to be going down, or maybe not. Freddie B with the cross and the AK has himself some Kevlar behind him. Maybe GODSENT are going to wake up here, and now it's only Bialy and Neo to try and turn the tide. Neo will get one, but Bialy is lost and the bomb is down, and there's 50 seconds left to play with. They had an AWP and some pistols in this round, and I don't know, you could even call that maybe the meta buy as the peak will come out. Hampus missed what looks like a sitter from him. Just going to be coming in towards this B side. The problem is, look at where Disco Doppler is. There's no way that Neo will know that he's here. There's so little time left on the clock that I don't even think there's enough time to get to the bomb and even plant it if there's nobody in the way. So Neo just has to try and save. And as said, he has absolutely no idea that there is a man just sat behind him. It should be a free kill eventually for Disco. And there you go, he's just lining it up, making sure. 7-4, a round stolen from absolutely nothing when the money was being saved. So that will at least be a boost to the economy of the CT side. However, the bank of Mihu, Bialy, and Snacks should bail out Virtus.pro in this round.
It's also pretty funny, actually, when you think about how the scoreboard has been completely flipped on Virtus.pro. Some of the best performers, or the best performers in Cobblestone was the four, Brollan, Twist, Hampus. I mean, Twist and Hampus were actually the two players that got the most amount of kills, and then Brollan was rated 4th or so, right?
Well, if Mihu gets, I think, like, what, 2 more kills, the board is literally upside down.
Yeah. But also, I mean, Disco Doppler, he didn't have the best Cobblestone.
No.
Not that it really was needed, right? But
yeah, for sure.
in this match, he's just been on fire, together with Freddie B, who also had a bit of a quiet game. Not a bad game, but a bit of a quiet game. So it's nice to see how the tables turn.
Yeah, Pasha already going to be tagged up, but so will Twist. So a bit of a early trade of AWPing. And, well, as said, a lot of economy given over to the CT side in the previous round. They get handed the double AWP setup. They've got some AKs and a lot of utility aggression from Disco. He is feeling hot at the moment. Nade will dunk onto him, but he sat up on the boost still. Mihu is aware of this possibility, and I believe Pasha is going to be watching that angle as well. Bialy trying to probe over towards this B site. Now, there's a tagged man in the form of Twist, but he does have Freddie B at least lurking around that mid spot to help him out. Doppler still on the boost. Nobody forcing him off just yet. They do have Molotovs if necessary to clear him from this very spot, but I feel like Virtus.pro are much more likely to want to keep their utility.
I think they would have also liked to keep Pasha, but I mean, that didn't go all too well. Brollan takes down Snacks, and now Disco Doppler somehow gets found. I'm not entirely sure how. But Hampus with the AWP, he's actually been doing quite a good job. And now Mihu, nice to see him hitting his shots, but unfortunately it's not going to be enough if he only kills off the one. So another round on the board for GODSENT, and the bank of Virtus.pro not looking as healthy as before, and instead, I mean, on the other hand, GODSENT, not really too healthy either, but because they managed to survive 3 players, they can drop around some guns and it will all be okay in the end.
Well, this is actually the first time in the game as well. There's worth noting that really GODSENT have had any economy on their side. Like, a lot of it's been just sort of weird force buys or like reducing the amount of utility. So if they were to build into the game now, we could say, okay, maybe the money started to play a bit of a factor along with the success of Virtus.pro. However, if VP can bounce back here, things will get a little bit interesting, a little bit dicey for the Swedes once again. Twist, this time playing into middle. His AWPing teammate will be over towards A, and they've already got some aggression into main, but there goes Neo. Finds the opener. There's been some damage done to the remaining Virtus.pro players, but they've thrown the deep smoke to enable them that position over towards Ivy. Now, the CTs are going to look to try and actually boost the player into the vent, but really, we want to be looking at Freddie B. He's already pushed aggressive. Is he going to win this battle? Yes, he does. Gets the first. The second could be crucial, but he's pincered in. Disco from Highway will be able to find one, but again, it's the trades across, and Mihu going aggressive, taking this into his own hands. Leaves it all onto Disco Doppler. He has been great so far, but actually catches himself and an opponent with the flashbang. He does have a kit. Actually, I wonder if he'll expect the angle from Neo. Holding over towards A main, that singular flashbang is going to be thrown out, and it does catch Mihu, but he's able to cross towards the site itself. And I wonder if he spotted the foot there of Neo. I don't think he did. So he doesn't have the information as to where the final man is, just has to try clearing these angles. And as said, it's going to be a surprise when Neo peaks, but he hits the shot anyway. Disco Doppler is having a phenomenal map, and it is going to be the defusal. 7-6, 4 kills from him in this round. And well, we are seeing the depth of this GODSENT roster, as this man, as said, he wasn't bad on Cobble, but he definitely wasn't the man we've got here.
I don't think anyone was the man that we got here. Disco Doppler with some really insane rounds and a really, really important 1 versus 2.
He's 19-9 at the moment.
Yeah, with like 150 ADR. It's pretty nice. It's actually the same score that I got in bowling yesterday, Tom, when I beat you. Do you remember?
No.
Okay. I do remember. I'll never forget it. Because I took pictures.
Well, I suppose you have to succeed in something.
Yeah, that's actually true. Disco Doppler, for sure, succeeding here on cash. And not for long.
No.
No.
Pasha has taken him down very early, and the teaser just going to look to execute off of this. CT side having to be careful here. Twister's going to get himself onto the site. Up above, Mihu actually pushes, and he meets Freddy B, and Twister's found another. The bomb is going to be going down, but both players are in A main, and the bomb has gone down into default. Twist removes Pasha. Molotov actually does a decent amount of damage as well, and this retake is more than on. It's all onto Neo in the clutch. 1 versus 3. Incendiary thrown in, but they're going to push straight through it. Freddy B with a beast round as well. 3 kills from him, and this is actually just peculiar, how completely different players have shown up in this map for GODSENT, and yeah, I'm impressed. It literally is a flip of the scoreboard. It's so weird.
But the weird thing is also that Virtus.pro up 7-3. GODSENT win a round where they only have pistols. And then they've been winning some really close rounds, mostly off the back of Disco Doppler that has been insane. This round, he just gets entry really easily at the beginning of the round, and they somehow still manage to win it with 3 players alive.
Well, like you look at GODSENT at the moment, and I believe the player in second on the scoreboard has more than the bottom 3 combined.
Quick maths.
Yeah, I can do 5 + 5 + 4.
I mean,
I did well at school.
In the original one, it's 2 + 2 is 4. To be honest, 5 + 5 + 4. It's a bit harder, Tom. I think you should be proud of yourself. Unlike the bowling yesterday, you were really bad.
Yeah, I won one of the games. I'll take that. Out of like 6. But let's move on.
Counter-Strike.
Final
We are
round.
casting.
It is going to be a push in. Not much utility at all. Great flash. Roland will quickly net himself 1. Twist there with a nade to steal another away. But Bialy's got himself into an interesting position. The question is, can they even utilize it, though? He needs to be helping out his teammates a little bit here. They've got a man in the backlines as well. Bialy will finally pounce, and Neo, we've seen you shoot a teammate before. Freddy B actually catches the man in mid, and now Neo is all that remains. 1 versus 2. Twist and Freddy B up against him. He's got the bomb, and actually is looking to fall back. His teammates, they've drunk a little bit too much, and they'll be passed out in the corner, at least for the rest of this half. The question is, can Neo pull off this clutch? It definitely hasn't been the same performance we saw from him on Cobblestone. He was one of the only members of this Virtus.pro roster performing. But he is going to be able to get the bomb down, that's for sure. A site will be taken. Twist, I think he still expects him to be over towards this B site. And they are now just going to be able to play this one as a team. Now, we've seen Neo in this position just a round before. But there was one more man up against him.
They do have that one Molo, though. It's going to be interesting to see where they use it. They use it under
The same
Shroud.
corner, yeah, it's the same corner he played in the previous round.
But he's had so much time to move away now that they might not even clear quad. Freddy is wise enough to check it though, but Twist up from the heavens, Assassin's Creed. Oh, and he lands the no-scope. I think that was even a leg shot, but Neo was only on 39, so it all counts.
And that will be a decent resurgence. We were looking at a 7-3 scoreline. And now 8-7 in favor of the CT side. So it has been 5 rounds in a row.
And you said, well, first of all, I said, we will probably see Virtus.pro get at least 9 rounds. 12-3, it's not even, you know, too unlikely on a map like Cash. And you said, yeah, Virtus.pro is a super momentum-based team, so they might just keep rolling here. They lose the pistols, instantly they lose the rest of the rounds.
Yeah.
So
I did also say that the first round that was won by GODSENT after the pistols was when they finally got themselves a decent 4-buy and some economy. And then that was where their streak began. So.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Such a beautiful graffiti from Hampus.
He's ruined the floor, though. It was greenery. He's defaced
Greenery.
Greenery. He's ruining the environment. Either way, we're into our pistol round. Other than Hampus, everybody else is just stuck with the Kevlar. He's got a P250, a smoke, and a flash. And we'll be taking the early engagement through the door. Me who dinks Brolin. He's the unlucky duck in this scenario. And it's just going to look to fall back because of it.
That's
Not
actually
taking the
pretty
aggression
insane.
just yet.
He just hits him through the door, and then they're like, you know what, we shouldn't do this. But instead, they walk into the waiting arms of Neo, who supplies a free haircut.
I got given that by my jeans.
A semi-permanent free haircut.
There we go, though. Twist has managed to get himself a couple, but Pasha is here, and he finishes the round. 8-8, Virtus.pro will even things back up and get the start over onto their CT side. Of course, the pistol and second round were actually won by GODSENT, but they lost the third to a force buy with the AKs. And GODSENT with these pistols are pretty damn deadly. We saw the beginning of Cobble a little bit more sketchy with both these teams sort of winning backwards and forwards rounds with GODSENT eventually coming out on top. VP are actually going to take themselves a tactical pause here. So maybe just wanting to talk over the fact, okay, we need to make sure that we win this round because we do not want to give GODSENT away into their T side.
And the thing that's always interesting to me is actually how teams play anti-ecos on the CT side of Cash, because there's a few different ways of playing it. You could play it with like a crossfire setup. There are a few that are actually quite nice on the A-bomb side. It's mostly the A-bomb side I'm focusing on here, right? Because B-bomb side, it is what it is, right? But the A-bomb side is usually where the problems lie. So a lot of teams like to, as we see it here, buy a bunch of SMGs and play it retake with utility. And it could look like that's exactly what they're going to do. But it's always interesting because teams like to play differently, and it doesn't actually look like a retake setup. Bjarli is playing up close, so we'll see if he'll be able to manage what is, in a lot of matches, seemingly impossible, because I feel like so many anti-ecos get lost on that A-bomb side of Cash.
CT side playing a bit more passive in these rounds, not overly surprising. They've gone heavier on the rifles because of it. Hampus already taking a fair bit of a tag, but he does have the deagle, only needing one opportunity. And as said, we've already seen some impressive deagle plays from this GODSENT side. Map control being gained, going to be clearing a fair few angles, but as said, Virtus.pro just sitting back passive, not wanting to give anything over. And Hampus has actually just set himself up so that he can stop anybody going back through the vent. So it's more of what looks like a lurk play. Although actually falling off the boost, he's going to get taken down anyway. So here comes the push in. Boost in for the CT side. An off angle for Snacks, although he's left completely blind. It won't matter. Support from Neo, and they're just going to wipe this down. Only Twist remains, hoping for the headshot, but it's not going to come through. Second round won comfortably by Virtus.pro. And now, well, there's only going to be the Glocks.
They even buy a Molotov to counter, not that exact setup, but what's pretty close to it. They wanted to use the Molotov to burn out default, which they did. But I think the Molotov must have failed because usually a good Molotov for default also burns headshots, so no one can be there. And because of the double setup they had there, the guy on top ended up falling down into headshot. So they would have been 2 guys being forced out of headshot. And I think that would have changed the outcome of the round, perhaps. Neo, just getting a few easy franks. Him and his buddy, Snacks, cleaning up. Neo gets 4 kills, and Hampus actually manages one with the Glock. It's not going to really impact anything, to be honest. It's a UMP lost, and Kevlar, ahead Kevlar.
I wonder if I've jinxed Pasha. Because every other player on the team is 15 kills and above. 15, 15, 18, 16, 7. I've jinxed him. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Pasha. Tees, they do have themselves a buy now. Let's see if they can build into the T-side. And we saw them off to a slow start. 7-3 down in the first half to win it 8-7. Will this be the Kickstarter to their streak, or can Virtus.pro show us some CT side prowess? Mihu almost caught in the open there. Will fall back, and they do still have 3 players over towards his site. Pasha with the AWP in play, and only 1 SMG, so not too much of a bonus round from this CT side at all. Neo will spot out Hampus, but it's Disco to actually take down Mihu on the other side of the map. And actually that pulls 1 player back, but Bialy quickly trades, and it won't matter too much. That was just all the fake. It's over towards this B site where the majority of the T's lie. However, after being flashed out from the initial nades, they're just going to wait a little bit longer before making their push, trying to, again, bait out some rotations back. Neo still remaining on the site. And Snacks is here with him. Push now comes in. Freddy B with the snap already manages 1. Knows the Snacks through the smoke, but he's going to survive at least a little bit longer. Pasha up from above, trying to look for a shot with the AWP. We'll know roughly where the bomb is planted, so can at least try to do some extra damage with utility. And a lot of it he has. He's still got smoke. He's still got the incendiary, which currently sits in his hand, but not going to be clearing too much out. Twist will still remain on the site, and well, Virtus.pro need a quick way back into this round. Instead, they're going to meet their demise. Nice shot from Bialy. Does manage to net 1, but the time ticks too far gone, and Pasha opts to just save his AWP. Will be enough money left into the next round to buy, but that AWP hit, that AWP loss, could hurt Virtus.pro quite a bit.
And what about the rifle loss? Could that also hurt them?
Yeah.
Or? Yeah? Okay.
Didn't expect them to lose it, that's the thing.
No, I totally understand. It's a bit of a shame that Neo has such a long battle on the B bomb site. They were stacking heavily towards the A bomb site, Virtus.pro, and because of that, Neo was left alone on B, and he used all of his utility on just holding back the push. So when Snacks comes over to try to help him, Neo has no grenades that can help Snacks into the site, and I don't think Snacks had any grenades either. So the only thing he can really play is play off of Neo's contact, but going through a smoke like that, there was really no way that could work. And I mean, not the saved op, but still a double op setup.
There's definitely some limitations here for Virtus.pro, mainly in the hands of Neo with that CZ, but other than that, a pretty solid buy, and finding the opener will definitely help them out. And T's now have to get away back into this round, and they're already in set for a reset. Only 2 players surviving in the previous round, so definitely not in a strong economic position. Now, we saw that built for them previously with a force buy win, but Pasha at the moment just styling on this CT side already, finding a 2nd kill. Eventually, Brolin will end his life. Looks for a 2nd, but Mihu just about wins that duel. 13 HP remains. And they're yet to even spot out this boost, and with Freddy B pushing with the bomb, if he goes down, this round is surely dead to rights. Of course, he does have his teammates, or teammate, I should say, over towards Squeaky, who's going to make a little bit of noise, but as said, they have absolutely no idea. Bialy takes the first. 2nd almost goes, but Disco will at least do some extra damage. And Mihu's there again to hold the cross. 11-9, Virtus.pro bounce back. And now things are starting to get a little bit worrying for GODSENT.
Yeah, you'd figure that, I mean, they'd at least be able to win this round. They are facing a double AWP setup, which is, I think, something they hadn't anticipated, but It felt like they got a bit complacent. They didn't really use their utility all too well and just tried to clear the corners, yeah, pretty much without grenades. And because of that, Pasha got the first kill and then he got the second. Hampus, though, with a great opening here, and Miho and Snacks. They do find the trade. Bialy could be getting under pressure, but there's no such thing as pressure for this guy. Removes the one, and Miho the other. So it's actually a kill for each of the 3 players that had a poor performance on the first map. And it's nice to see that they're still continuing their good form here on the second.
Only Brolin remains, and it's looking like an indefinite 12-9 in favor of Virtus.pro, and that was a full force in from the CT, or sorry, from the T side, so there isn't going to be any money remaining for them. And now Virtus.pro, I would say they're firmly in the driver's seat. 12-9 up, 13-9 looking inevitable. It'll be a little bit of time before we get a buy on the board for GODSENT. If they then lose that, well, they're going to be playing up against potentially map points. So, yeah, looking like VP much stronger on cash. I don't think there's any doubt about that.
But it's again the CT side, where I feel like they are looking the strongest.
Yeah, for sure.
So it used to be the case as well, back in the glory days of Virtus.pro. They were the team that you really just didn't want to play against when they were on the CT side. They used to have a reputation for making a lot of stupid decisions, I'd say. Even like people knew them as the team that liked to push their own smokes and stuff like that. Things that I feel like, or at least a reputation they've shedded.
Well, I feel like Snacks was definitely just known as like the master of smokes.
Yeah, I think he still kind of is, right? But I think at the point it was just everyone that just made really risky plays. Good grenade. And
speaking of Snacks, he's got a lot to do, but he has players to defend him. A flawless round from Virtus.pro will take them further into the lead. 13-9. Obviously not much invested there, but this is where crunch time now begins for this GODSENT roster. They've got the AKs across the board, no AWP. Very quiet game now from Brolin and Hampus, and well, Hampus was the top fragger in the previous map, so a complete switch up from him. We wondered if they'd have the tactical basis if the raw individual talent didn't work out. This is where, well, hopefully he's at least got to stage, or page 2, I should say, of that strat book.
We haven't really seen them play such an execute-heavy style on Cash. I don't think it's really necessary, but we are seeing a bit more patience and structure coming out from them now. Unfortunately, that has led Neo to push the B bomb site and is now in prime position, which means they can stack around the A bomb site. So if a B split comes in here, that would probably be, I mean, the saving grace for GODSENT. If they decide to go A, it's going to be up to them to really hit some insane shots, or else they're not going to be able to win this round, I think.
50 seconds left on the clock. Position of Neo should make things difficult, but they are going to be checking it. Freddy B already removes him from that very spot. Pasha now the only defender of this site, yet to smoke him off. They have spotted the AWP, and that's when the smoke will go down. He's forced out of the site itself. Nade doesn't actually do that much damage, hits 3 players, but not anything too crazy. And, well, all of these HEs not doing too much, but at least they're slowing things down. All these incendiaries being expended. The problem is now they don't actually have much more utility to play with. Brolin starts to get burnt, and as they cross the site, Hampus will be able to get that bomb down. HE goes into the corner, but again, doesn't do too much. It is going to be a 5 versus 4 retake here for Virtus.pro. Now, they do have money to buy back into the next round anyway, so they could just opt to try and go for the damage, but instead, they're going to play it safe. Keep their economy going. They've looked strong so far on this CT side. Make sure the double AWP setup remains, and give themselves an extra lifeline if things go wrong in the future.
I'm liking the idea there of Virtus.pro actually playing a retake, so to say, before the bomb even goes down. With the 3 Molotovs, they've pretty much Molotoved off the whole site. One guy, I think it was Mihu, used the smoke in the B main. And if they combine that with a flash, they could go in before the bomb even has a chance to be planted. It's a bit of a special, situation, right? Because it's not something that you ever really see, that the CTs are so close to the bomb site that they can stop the plant. It's in a pretty safe position. You can only really do it with Molotovs, but here, because they had so many, I think they even used 3 Molotovs on the site. They could have gone for an early retake. That's something that I would have liked to see, but at the same time, if everyone's not in on the plan, then it's much wiser to just save the double AWP that they had in play. And it's, a really expensive round to lose, I guess, with the double AWP and even, I think, 2 rifles as well.
Yeah.
So it's a decent decision, but I think the early retake could have been pretty sick as well. But we will never know, Tom.
We will never know. But you're Mr. Future, man.
Mr. Future Seeker? Seer? What
you don't know.
Was it Future Seeker or Future Seer?
You didn't see that one coming, did you?
No, I did not, Tom. I did not.
Well, the T's, they do manage to keep every single player alive, so they've at least built a bit of a buffer themselves, but VP still the cash cows of this server at the moment. And as said, the T's really need to build into this game now. They need that same streak that they had in the second half towards the end. 5 in a row we saw from GODSENT to win themselves the half. But they definitely haven't looked anywhere near as good on this T side so far. They're going to need the awakening of maybe the remainder of their players. It's mainly Doppler and Freddy who were good on the CT side. Here we go, push into middle. Neo lurking around in the smoke, doesn't actually get spotted, and because of that, Twist is going to be down without any real fight at all. The remaining players on this T side are going to go pushing towards this A spot. Neo has to be careful because there is still a lurker in the form of Freddy B. But by the looks of things, they're just going to go for a bit more of a basic execute. Freddy B loses the fight versus Neo as well and gives a 2-man advantage over to the Virtus.pro side. Brolin can't take down Mihu either, and it leaves only 2 players remaining with more than that on the site itself. Hampus all that remains, and this battle's sketchy, but Bialy will win it. 14-10. Money, well, there's still a bit there for GODSENT, but again, they've won 2 individual rounds over on their T side and instantly fallen.
Only 6 kills from Brolin in 24 rounds. That's...
Well, he's normally the most consistent player on this team.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Everyone else around him like fluctuates really heavily, and then Brolin's normally the static 20-odd kills in the middle. But yeah, the first time we've really not seen him perform at all.
Turns out maybe it's hard for a 15-year-old to carry that much weight.
Playing Virtus.pro on LAN. You know?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's
pretty
kind of
tough.
the same thing, yeah. Oh, but I mean, he had a good first map, right? So it's just probably an off game for him. But still, I think he is one of the guys that needs to step up here for GODSENT if they want to have a chance in this still.
Double AWP setup remains. Aggression into A main coming out from Mihu. Definitely looking much more confident on this map than what we saw in the previous. And integral that he is. Otherwise, Virtus.pro, well, they were getting ever closer to elimination. Now they look much more likely to take us to that 3rd map of Mirage. A great map for both of these teams, an exciting prospect, but Freddy B will start things off. It's Pasha waiting on the site, but he's overwhelmed. Mihu now has work to do, but he doubles down back. Leaves it into a 2 versus 2. Rotation will be coming in, likely to see one on the flank in the form of Snacks with the AWP. So Neo is going to take a slightly longer route. But it comes down to this AWP battle in main. Twist holding the angle. But actually, no, he's not. He looks back towards the car position, and Hampus is left all alone into the clutch situation. The 1 versus 2. Still a bit of utility to be had. Nade will drop him 40 HP and make things just that little bit easier for him to be tagged down, but he holds the angle onto Neo. already finds himself the first. We're seeing the same play that Twist attempted, but the flashbang is absolutely perfect. And surely this ticks too far, although he's just got on the defuse. I don't know if he's got this. A second going down. I don't know why we're looking at his face. And the bomb, I'm guessing, went off.
Wait, what? And now, okay, now they fist bumped each other. But surely it went off, yeah? I mean, it looked like on the timer up in the right corner that he did have time. So I'm not entirely sure. Did he maybe not have a kit? Because it looked like he was moving his mouse.
He did have a kit.
Well, I guess we will never know. It was a godsend round. I mean, it is what happens. I like the fear in his eyes. Godsend winning a crucial round, but what good does that do them when they now look like a more broken team than before? A CZ, a UMP, Galil, and not a lot of utility to work with. Instead, Virtus.pro, double AWP, 3 rifles. Look like they are in a much better position for sure. Snacks playing solo towards this B bomb site. And if Freddy B somehow finds this frag onto Snacks, that could be all they need, really.
Only Pasha on this side has a lot to do. Mihu just behind on Highway, and this is looking like an absolute slaughter. Only Twist and Freddy B, who does manage to net 1 at least, and this is a nice little rotation back around from Twist. He's caught off Mihu, leaving Pasha again as the man on this site. Bomb will be retrieved. I don't know, he should hear the footsteps of Pasha, trying to bait him into the angle. The Molotov instead, smart from Pasha to deny any further chance of this bomb going down, and there's a long rotation coming in from Snacks, but Twist has come alive in this round. But he's now the one into the 1 versus 2. Previously won by his teammate. He's retrieved the AWP off the corpse of Pasha as well, but has to get this plant down, and that gives the chance for a little bit of ground to be gathered. Bialy wins this one for VP, 15-11. And now, well, the T-side money, again, is going to be in tatters. They had to force into this one, only having like CZs on a couple of players. And that means going into this one, all there really is the minute amount of loss bonus and the bomb plant.
Nice try from Twist. Unfortunately, it's not going to be enough this time around. I thought for sure after he got the kill on Pasha and the 2 versus 2 came in that GODSENT at least had a decent chance in it, but then I think Freddy B got found from behind, and because of that, Twist was left all alone on the bomb site. So, not a lot for him to do there. And now with only pistols, it's hard to see a world in which GODSENT wins this match, or at least this map. But they're trying their hardest, Tom. And that's all that really matters. Friendship. And
no, it's
trying.
not. Winning. Winning is what matters.
Well, why are they not winning then, Tom?
Well, I don't think that's like the choice. I think if you gave them the choice, they'd probably choose to be winning.
Okay. I have a lot to learn still about Counter-Strike.
Although they do say friendship is magic. Either way, CT side already take themselves the man advantage. A couple of players left on the site and a quick rotation available from Mihu as well in towards the vent. The Molotov will force them off the angle, and Brolin finds the opening pick, and actually Disco's caught another. Maybe it's not done just yet, but the pounce from Mihu drops the bomb, buys a little bit of extra time. Pasha well positioned to drop it once again, and it's left onto the man who has been performing well for this GODSENT roster, but they need him to perform once more. 1 versus 2, 30 seconds left. Doesn't know if there's a man wrapping around in towards CT. The fact is Pasha hasn't moved. He's gone back into mid. Bialy will just be waiting in case there's any aggression, and other than that, they're just looking for that bomb to be stolen and for the bomb to be planted. The fact is, I think Disco, if he does cross to the site, just has to plant it safe, which really isn't going to benefit him too much with this AWP. Can't risk to go for the more standard plant towards the back of the site because it will open him up to Pasha. And obviously can't plant in the open. So just has to try and fight it back from the side. Luckily for him, there isn't actually any utility over on this CT side, so he has the chance to find the jewels. Pasha with the AWP looking like he may be the first one to peek, and he's trying to find the angle, but the timing of the shoulder peaks just isn't working and misses the shot. Bialy will close it, and we are heading off to map number 3. We get that decider of Mirage, the most played map, especially in this tournament for both of these teams, and we will see whether or not it is going to be Virtus.pro or GODSENT or Mirage to take this home and eliminate the other.
Yes. I must agree, Tom. That's exactly what we're going to be seeing.
Now, I'm actually really excited for this match because I think like Virtus.pro initially at least looked very, very good on Mirage, and I was impressed with how aggressive they were, but I just enjoy GODSENT on this map because I feel like there's certain maps where you watch individual players and you go, they clearly like playing this map. They clearly like playing this spot. And when I watch GODSENT, that's pretty much every single player. Like you go, you know, yeah, Hampus, he definitely likes this map. Oh, Brolin on the Ace, he definitely enjoys playing that position. Oh, yeah, Twist with the farming up kills with the AWP. And then you look at the other side of things, and since Virtus.pro have sort of come back with this new roster, this has been the map that I've at least seen where I'm like, you know what, they look pretty confident on it. They look happy to play it. And I said to you before they even did the veto, there's definitely going to be Mirage. There's no doubt about that. And thankfully, we now get to Mirage as that third and final decider.
Yeah, I mean, we just talked about who was going to pick it, because whoever was going to pick it, you know, would lose a chance of picking on another map. So you said, hey, maybe it's going to be the third, and, well, we've gone the distance, ladies and gentlemen. It's Mirage.
I think that's always a good way in a series as well, is if both teams win their opponent's map choice and then the third map is a neutral ground, it's normally going to be a good series. But yeah, I think it was just more of the sort of surprising factor that GODSENT, I don't feel like there was, other than the sort of few rounds towards the end of their CT half, they never really got rolling. Like, we never saw the sort of same, just like, aggressive peaks that we saw on the first map. We didn't see anybody where I was like, what? Okay, we saw Disco Doppler like playing incredibly, but and Freddie B a bit, but the rest of the team, like you sort of look at the bottom three, the ones who were so good in the first map, and they just weren't there at all. And we even saw the sort of flip of the Virtus.pro scoreboard as well, which is even more peculiar. Either way, I'm not going to put you under any more pressure to break things down because that's why we have a desk.
5 reasons to bet on bets.net. 1. We are not a bookmaker agency. We are a betting exchange. We are fine with any outcome of the event, so we have no reason not to pay your win. The information about the bets is available for everyone in real time. We stand for fair esports. 2. Instant replenishment and withdrawal of funds. No delays, checks, and restrictions. 3. Convenient mobile app on iOS and Android. All site functionality is in your pocket. Bonuses for each user of the app. 4. More than 800,000 people trust us. We are the most visited esports bet site in the CIS. 5. All coefficients are fully transparent and the commission rate is the lowest. We play fair and square. Bets.net.